Hello, I'm Brian Barrett, and I preach for the Church of Christ that meets in Spurlockville, West Virginia, specifically the Bear Branch congregation. You normally hear from me in Yesterday, Today, and Forever, our weekly video program. Also on WZAC-FM, you'll hear me occasionally as we produce lessons for the radio. But as many of you are aware, and some time ago we put out a video talking about our India missions and the work that we're doing there with Brother Stanley Joseph. We want to come to you tonight. We have been planning and we've been kind of budgeting and trying to get an idea of the things that we need to really make the ministry move forward in a very productive way. We want to thank those who have already contributed. We appreciate the efforts that you have made, and we're looking tonight to basically present our cause, if you will, to the churches of Christ and also concerned Christians who are interested in making either one-time donations or monthly donations to help support the work that we have underway there in India. Brother Joseph and the work that he has there with his congregations is the primary work that we have moving forward. Brother Joseph is preaching for 3 different congregations. And in addition then to that, we're trying to expand into the second area, is to get some of the mission teams up and going, working with ministers that are already there, preaching for other congregations in and around where Brother Joseph is working. And on top of that, Brother Joseph has property and has underway the building of a building itself that can be used as a multi-purpose center, if you will, for the work of the church, for the ministry teams that will be working there, as well as a school both of preaching and teaching and other things as we move along. So tonight I just want to talk to you for just a little while about the budget and the things that are set up. First of all, when we're talking about Brother Joseph and his work and setting up an office and things there in his ministry, we're budgeting $150 a month for the supplies and things that he needs for the office. In addition to that, Brother Joseph works with an orphanage there, some orphans that we have that they're taking care of, as well as widows. And so it takes about, and we're budgeting $250 each for the work with the orphans and the work with the widows in providing the necessities that they have, whether it's food, clothing, those type of things. So the first phase, if you will, the first part of that budget requires about $650 a month. And in that, besides Brother Joseph and helping to assist him, we have about 10 to 12 orphans and about as many widows that are being fed and cared for. And that's on a budget of $650 a month. A great use of resources, and most certainly not something that we could easily do here in the United States. But we're able to take care of those people, provide for their needs both physically, spiritually, in that phase of the ministry as Brother Joseph works with 3 congregations there in India. Beyond that, we're going to talk a little bit more tonight about the mission teams. We have 2 teams of 6 preachers. And the reason we have 2 teams is there's 2 principal languages, different languages that are spoke there in India. So we have a team set up for each of the languages to translate materials and to take those materials into the areas that they're familiar with and to share the gospel of Christ. Now, these ministers are already working in their own churches and in their own congregations, and so we're not going to be directly sponsoring them in their entire work. But what we're going to be doing is assisting them in the costs of coming together in the various meetings and some of the transportation costs as they work. Each of the leaders of these teams will be paid $60 a month for their costs, and each of the team members beyond that, the 5 members, will receive approximately $40 a month as a stipend to help them and assist them in some of the added expenses that they incur in working with the mission teams. And so when we talk about that, the 2 team leaders will cost $120 a month. Each one of the teams will be receiving $200 a month, so that's another $400. And on top of that, 100 Bibles cost about $800, depending on where they're purchased, but the average cost is around $8. And so we're looking at $800 for 100 Bibles to work with, and then some miscellaneous expenses that go along with the copying and paperwork and things associated with the mission teams. So that will be another $1,400 a month in order to work with those mission teams. But again, I think we're getting a bargain, if you want to call it that, in the preaching and teaching of the gospel and the sharing of the gospel, that we have 12 preachers and 13, counting Brother Joseph, that are going to be working together in those efforts. And so that's a pretty powerful team we've put together for about $2,050 a month, covering the things both of Brother Joseph's work as well as the work of these team members. That takes us then to the third part, and we have that also underway. Brother Stanley Joseph has received property, has property, and begun construction on the building in order to be able to meet, to use it as a church, to use it as a school. He has a budget set up. The cost of building the building will be approximately $10,000. That will be in 2 phases. Phase 1 is building the first floor, a 1-floor building that can be used for the various multi-purposes associated with the ministry there. Beyond that, second phase will be building a second story that can be used where the ministers can come and stay. The mission teams can come there and spend the weekend around during the times of the meetings and have a place to stay without an added expense to the work of the church. And again, it can be used for various other purposes in regards to teaching and instruction. So the building will come in 2 phases. One phase, $5,000 for the first story, and then the second phase, another $5,000 to get the second story together. Now, that money for the building will be in excess of the other work that we're doing. And so we have things in priorities. First of all, in our contributions and donations, we have to take care of Brother Joseph and his work directly, which is the $650. Beyond that, any funds will be applied to the mission teams until we meet the monthly financial goal to be able to support the mission teams and the supplies that they need. Beyond that, any other donations will go toward the building of the building there for the school and multi-purpose use. Now, if someone is interested in donating to the building specifically, you can make that known to us and we will work that out. If you have questions about the work and those things, you can go to our webpage at thechurchesofchrist.life. You can see the things that we have been doing. We will be putting up some pictures Brother Joseph has started on the foundation and the flooring for the building, and we can get some of those pictures up. We encourage you to contact us, email us. We're really hoping that you will pray for this work and that you will become a partner with us in this work. It is a wonderful undertaking for the area that we're working in, and we hope to see congregations started, people saved. We want to just see the growth of the church. These things are taking place in a Hindu nation, which is not primarily Christian. And so it is a great effort to be able to bring individuals who have grown up in the Hindu faith and religion over to Christianity. Also, we're speaking with many of the other churches in the area and their people in bringing them to the truth of the gospel of Christ. We're just praying and believing that there are concerned members of the Church of Christ in the United States that will partner with us and team with us to get this great work done. There is a lot of work that can be accomplished in a budget of approximately $25,000 a year. That's not a lot of money to be able to do the kind of work and type of work that we're trying to get underway there in India. So again, to you who have already sent donations or considering that, we hope that you'll continue to supply the funds that we need to move this forward. And if you've been considering it, again, we hope that you will join in with us, and we can use the money now. We started a new year, and we need that money to get things up and going in our India missions. And if you have any questions, anything that we can do, we just pray that God will bless you and bless your heart so that you'll be able to bring a blessing to the people there in India. So again, until next time we meet, may God bless and keep you in His grace as we walk together in His truth. And remember, as always, the churches of Christ salute you.